This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, Alain Poupart, ready to go, locked and loaded. How you doing, my brother? How you feeling after a sketchy performance, but a victory in the end?
Just like we predicted it, right? Not exactly the way it was going to happen, but we did predict that they were going to wind up winning. Taking care of business. They're not beating great teams. Let's not kid ourselves, but they got to beat them.
Hey, man, a win's a win. I don't really care how it happens. Today, in a way, what I do like, which is a little different than earlier in the season, when Tua usually had that game, you lost it. And today, they found ways to win. Tua came back, composed himself, made some throws. The defense made some plays. They overcame whatever mistakes they were, from special teams to Tua or whatever. But they were at least able to overcome their mistakes and win the game. To that, I give you credit.
Yeah, and to me, it's like from about toward the end of the second quarter on, to me, it was clear that it would take a catastrophe of epic proportions for the Dolphins to lose this game, because they were just completely clamping down the Jets' offense. Because the Jets had great field position to be able to add to their 17-10 lead late in that first half, if you recall, and they went nowhere. And then in the second half, they could have played 10 more quarters the way things were going, and they weren't scoring. And they weren't coming close. They had Zach Wilson completely flustered. Their receivers weren't getting open, and this is where I'm not saying this to diminish what the Dolphins did, but this is where the Jets not having Elijah Moore and Corey Davis made a big difference, because their wide receivers outside of Jamison Crowder are not terribly good. I mean, Keelan Cole and Denzel Mims, who was a high draft pick, who's got all the physical attributes if you look at him, but it's not a very good player. So, and then the Dolphins just came after Zach Wilson like crazy, where they didn't so much early in the game, which kind of, again, I'm sitting here going, why are you not going nuts after this guy? Because the decision-making, the fumble recovery they got off the sack is a play where, yeah, it's a great play by the defense, and Zach Wilson is holding the ball in the pocket as it's collapsing around him and holding it, instead of just eating the ball, going down, and if it was a first down play, as I recall, or just chucking one of the two, but he's a young quarterback who wants to make something happen on every play. So to me, no, at that point, there was no way the Dolphins were going to lose once you could see that the defense had taken control. And then, of course, tip of the hat to the running game, which was completely outrageous today.
What happened at the beginning with the defense? What weren't they doing that the Jets were running? They were pulling every trick out of the book and burning the Dolphins, and then eventually, like you said, towards the end, they figured it out. They shut them down, and they weren't really going to move the ball that much anymore. But damn, early on, it was kind of frustrating that they could not figure them out at times.
Yeah, it looked to me like the Dolphins were not quite as aggressive early on. Maybe both in the play calling and the way the guys were playing, and then all of a sudden they decided, okay, let's stop messing around. You're talking about the trick plays that the Jets did. That one they pulled off to convert that 3rd and 15. I mean, another tip of the hat. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. The decision for the fake punt near midfield, did you agree with that move?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Hell no.
The way your defense was playing, why would you do that?
Not only that, if you're going to go for it, if you remember the distance, it was less than a yard. Put your side in there, have it stick his big body, go straight ahead, and you'll pick it up that way. If you were going to go for it, which would have been a bad decision anyway. But
even throwing the ball on 3rd down was a bad decision.
You mean later in the game? I totally agree. Again, it wasn't going to make a difference anyway, but you still gave him a little bit of a shot. Right. And then the Jets, God bless their hearts, run a 9-yard route on 4th and 10. I mean, sometimes there's a reason they're 3-11.
Yeah,
there are many reasons, actually.
I mean, really, the only depressing part about this game is that they didn't show Zach Wilson's mom at all on television. That's the part that you could have done that at least to kind of help
I
us
hear
out.
you.
All right, Duke Johnson, real or Memorex? But that was a hell of a performance today.
Real in the sense that, as I tweeted out, I said, I mean, could it be that the Dolphins' best two running backs are two guys they picked up in the middle of the year, Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay? Yeah, I mean, we saw something we don't see often from the Dolphin running back, making a guy miss a tackle. And there were a lot of those. So I certainly don't expect him to have that kind of performance against the Saints, the Titans, or the Patriots. But I do think he gives them a little more oomph at the running back position than what they have.
What I thought helped Duke in running the ball was the patience. There were times where he just didn't, bust through the hole. He made the one cut that he had to make. He doesn't dance a lot, which again is another positive, but he kind of, made the one cut that he had to make and then made the move that he had to make. And I thought that was also what really helped him out, the way he had the patience to set it up.
No. I mean, you can tell he's like a polished running back. And and again, the other thing I'm going to mention too is that what really jumped out at me is the guy didn't go down the first contact.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen that all year from these Dolphin running backs, and it's like, and I hear and read the complaining about the offensive line the whole year, and I'm so sick of it. I have to tell you, because it's not nearly as bad an offensive line as so many people want to make.
They did all right today.
Throw out stats that support their case, and trust your eyes for a second,
Yeah, no, they did all right today. Actually, they
did very well today.
Yeah, they did all right, man. Today we can't really complain about them overall. I thought, and again, I've been telling people because I don't think a lot of people realize it because sometimes you're just a fan and you don't really then follow the player. This has not been Duke his entire career.
Correct.
He's been a pass catcher his entire career. He's never been a bell cow. He's never been the guy you give 20 carries a game.
Right.
So again, of course, now we got a section of Dolphin fans that are like expecting this every week. And listen, if he can do this next week, then I'll become a believer. But that's the amazing part about all of this, that they're using Duke in a role that most people never used him in that role because they never really trusted him in that role.
Correct. No, and I agree with you that I wouldn't expect them to do that again, like as I mentioned. But to me, he's still an upgrade over Miles Gaskin and Savon Ahmed. And you notice, I don't think Savon Ahmed touched the ball once today, and he's become completely obsolete. Even more so when Philip Lindsay's off the COVID list. So it gives them more options. I don't think their running game. I mean, today was dynamic, but we can't forget the fact that we're playing against the Jets, who are not very good against the run.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So does Christian Wilkins become when you go to practice on Wednesday, will Christian Wilkins be running with the wide receivers?
The tight ends, maybe, actually.
Okay, tight ends.
All right. I was about to tweet.
I mean, you're insulting him with tight ends because, I mean, the guy's got speed. Maybe he's a receiver. Who knows?
I was about to tweet. I don't care what happens the rest of the season. I just need another Christian Wilkins touchdown. Yeah. I mean, that was awesome.
The worm? Was it the worm or was it breaking or what part? What part did you like?
Yes. I like all. I think the breaking, the break dancing for a guy his size. I mean, not bad. I mean,
and the worm stuff was for a guy his size.
Very good. Yes.
Holy crap, man! I mean, give me a break. I try to do that worm thing. I'll break every bone in my back trying to do that thing. Are you crazy?
We'll be in traction for 3 weeks. You and I.
Definitely, absolutely done with that. What else? What else did I wanted to talk to you about in this game overall? Isaiah Ford, dude, always prepared. He's one of the people that I admire so much, Alan, because he has fought throughout his whole career, cut, traded, promoted, demoted, and somehow or another, that kid's never fazed by anything, and he's gotten better as a player, even because even without getting a ton of playing time, he has still gotten better as a player over the years. And man, the last couple of weeks, every time they call his number, he comes up with a play.
Yeah, and if you notice, we saw a lot of him today. We didn't see Mac Hollins at wide receiver. I think I spotted Preston Williams once on a running play, and it was Isaiah Ford.
That's one too many, by the way, for Preston. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but that tells you that the trust that they have in Isaiah Ford, that he was basically the third wide receiver with Parker and Albert Wilson. And I made the point to one of the other writers early in his career when I saw him play, that's like, he'll never be a star. The dude might be in the NFL for 10 years because he's got a great attitude. He's dependable, and he's like a good kid, and he's very, very serious about his craft. And this is what we're seeing, and that's why there's a reason the Dolphins keep coming back on that. I think now for the 17th time that they've re-signed him.
Something like, I don't know.
No, absolutely. And to me, he reminds me like Patrick Clare's another guy like that. Will never be a star. I'll be in the NFL for 10 years. And he came up big with a couple of big plays today. So no, he's a good guy to have on the roster.
Jerome Baker, 2 sacks today. It seems like over the last month or something, he's starting to play more like the guy we saw last year, right?
Yeah, that goes with everybody else on defense. I mean,
Van
Ginkel again, man, holy moly, he's been playing well. Another guy who really stood out, plays about 25 snaps a game. Zach Sealer again today.
Awesome.
I mean,
awesome.
Man, that guy just does nothing but produce.
Yes.
So no, it's like everybody. And again, once they got in gear today, it was like, I mean, I almost felt bad for Zach Wilson. It's like, dude, you got no shot. Forget it. You got no shot.
Man, when he takes off that helmet, he looks like he still belongs in high school, dude. Mm-hmm. Seriously, like that kid doesn't look like he's past 16 years old when he takes off that helmet.
Props to him, though. He had a couple of plays. That one scramble he had where he avoided Justin Coleman. Holy smokes, that was a great play.
Yeah. They should have had an interception on him. But what are you going to do?
Which one?
Was it Coleman that dropped it? Was it Coleman? 27? It was 27. It was
27. I don't remember.
Damn it. Now I got to look at the damn roster. But they almost
27 was Coleman, but I don't remember the play. So.
Yeah, he almost had it. He should have had it, man. All right. Let me ask you something. Does a guy like Ford become more of a permanent fixture now? Because, I mean, he keeps making they don't use my guy Mac Hollins enough, which kills me. So are they going to use Ford more as a starter for you, or because of Waddle playing the slot, you don't do that?
Correct. When Waddle comes back, it's basically Waddle in the slot, Parker outside. Gesicki kind of outside. I mean, as in his tight end, not really tight end role. So I think today was just a case of the Dolphins needing somebody else to step up with Waddle out. I wouldn't expect a more prominent role for Ford moving forward, but when they call his number, you can feel pretty comfortable he's going to come through.
Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. As I tell all of you Dolphin fans out there, you must bookmark that page. He is constantly updating it. He writes at least 15 to 72 articles a day. So the guy never stops. All right. I don't know how he does it, but you'll see plenty of info there on the Sports Illustrated website. So check it out. Alain, as always, you are a stud, my brother. We will talk on Wednesday, my friend. You be good.
If I made the way I do it is the way you get your 10 million downloads is through work ethic and busting my ass, just like you, sir. So tip of the hat.
That's right. That's what everybody does on this show. Everybody that's on this show, they bust their ass. That's the idea, baby. All right, you keep grinding, my friend. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We'll talk midweek.
Thank you. That is Alain Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.